Hi everybody and welcome to today's Geometry 1.1 support video. In today's video we're going to go over an example problem of taking a look at a algebraic proof. So the geometry skill is the proof and the algebra is actually what we're going to be putting inside of the proof. So after watching today's video, hopefully you'll get support on a question that looks extremely similar to, with just a few differences of what you're going to see on the worksheet right next to this. So with that being said, the question is in blue. I'll highlight it in blue as well. This is what we're looking at. 2x plus 3 parentheses x plus 1 equals 18 is our given statement, and what we're trying to do is prove that x equals 3. So it's going to be our job to basically fill in this table on the left side here with all of those things. So basically free points every time you get a question like this. You almost automatically get 4 answers. So we have to fill in, looking at this table, looks like we have 10 boxes, but they actually already give us 4 of the boxes. So the first thing you can always do is given is going to be that first box, and our given statement is 2x plus 3x plus 1 equals 18. We basically just recopy the question down. I know that that seems silly, but that's just how proofs work. So that's our first line. They also give us the last line. So the x equals 3 is the prove statement. So what we can do down here is we know that we're going to end with x equals 3. We don't know the reason why x equals 3 yet, but we know that that's where that's going to live. So basically it's our job to work from our top box here all the way down to our bottom box here, and each blank that we fill in is how we're going to earn points. So you'll see this in a variety of ways. Sometimes they'll give you the entire left side filled in. Sometimes nothing will be filled in. Sometimes there'll be a word bank. Sometimes you'll drag and drop. It just depends on the question. On the state test, it's the same way. It just really depends on the question. So the best thing that we can do is understand these inside out and backwards, know each of the steps when it's totally blank. That way, if they give us a different question format, we can just basically work from a totally blank question. So the statement on the right tells us how we got there. So the best thing that you can do is actually just start solving this question, ignore the fact that it's a proof, and just kind of work through the steps like you normally would. So I'll do all of the work in red, and we'll keep our final answers in white. So the work that we're going to do here is we see some parentheses, so we can go ahead and take that 3 and distribute it into those parentheses. So if we do that, what we're going to see is 2x plus 3x plus 3 equals 18. Okay, so ignoring the fact that this is a proof, that's what we would do next. And actually, that's all the next line of the proof is. So this 2x plus 3x plus 3 equals 18. We just copy that in white because that's our answer. And on the right side, we have to determine how did we get there. Well, what we did was we took the 3 and we distributed it. So nothing crazy here, literally just we distributed it. So we can say it is the distributive property. And I would save your note table from class. You're definitely going to want to use that because those are the properties that we're going to be filling in on the right side. All right, so keep going here just like we normally would. What would our next step for solving be? Well, we see 2x and 3x. Those look like terms. So 2x and 3x can combine to give us 5x. We'll just copy over the 3 and the 18. So that's our next line. 5x plus 3 equals 18. And how did we get that? Well, this is a little bit tricky. So we did add 2x and 3x together, so it's tempting to put the addition property down. But the addition property we want to use if we do addition on both sides of the equal sign. And we didn't do that. So actually this one's going to be a substitution property question. And the reason why it's substitution, I'll show you with the blue highlighter, is we took 2x plus 3, and we know that 2x plus 3 equals 5, so we just put 5x in its place. So we swap them. We put them in different places. It's okay if you don't 100% understand that. The thing that you should remember from this, though, is that if you're adding just on one side of the equation, substitution property is what we want to use. All right, we'll keep rolling here. So our next step in red, we would want to subtract 3 from both sides if we were just solving this like algebra. So if we were to subtract 3 from both sides, we'd have 5x on the left and 15 on the right. Now, because we're subtracting on both sides, this is subtraction property. and keep going from there. 5x equals 15. Again, solve it like we normally would. We would want to divide both sides by 5. And when we do that, we would end up with just x on the left and 3 on the right side. So conveniently, we did get to the answer we were looking for. And the way that we did that was with division. And just like that, in white ink, we have successfully filled in our proof. So that's the idea for today. What I would say is if you're really strong with algebra, just work through the problem like you normally would. Pretend that the proof's not there. That's going to give you the entire left side of it. If you can work through it just like a regular algebra problem, go back to it and then fill in the right side afterwards. The biggest thing that most students get tripped up on is this step right here, the substitution property step that's highlighted in blue. Again, if we're not adding on both sides or subtracting on both sides, we technically want to use substitution property if we're just simplifying. So with that being said, we are good to move forward here. As always, if you got questions, ask them. Thanks so much for working hard on this, and I'll see you soon.